Hi everyone, in this short video we're going to be looking at chemical formulas and figuring out how to interpret them. So let's take a look at this example first, LiF. Now, what does this tell me? What does this mean? The first thing that I want to reference is my periodic table. So you can see my periodic table right here. And I'm going to find lithium on the periodic table. That's right here, Li. So I know that Li is telling me that I have the element lithium in this particular chemical compound. Now the F, I need to find this symbol on the periodic table as well. So I'm going to find this one in the upper right corner, right up here. So you can see that this is for fluorine. So I know that this compound contains both lithium and fluorine. Now, when we name this compound, we actually are going to call it lithium, but the second part of the name, we're going to do a little bit of a twist. We're going to change the ending of fluorine to fluoride. So this compound would be called lithium fluoride, and what we find in this compound is that there's a 1-to-1 ratio of lithium ions and fluoride ions, and that's why we write the formula for the compound LiF. For every one Li, there's going to be one F paired with it. This compound right here includes the elements zinc and bromine, and we can see that the ratio now is going to be a 1-to-2 ratio. Please note if we ever have a 1, we don't need to write that. That's implied in the chemical formula. So we'd have for every one zinc ion, we'd have 2 bromide ions paired with that. So again, 1 zinc, 2 bromide ions. That's the ratio. Here's another common compound that most people know. This is H2O, or water. This is a pairing of 2 hydrogen atoms with 1 atom of oxygen. C6H12O6, this is an example of an organic molecule. This is very commonly called glucose or sugar. And in a molecule of glucose, there would be 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, and 6 atoms of oxygen. The next compound that we'll take a look at is AlCl3. This contains the element aluminum. Please note when we have a symbol where there's a capital letter followed by a lowercase letter, that is the symbol for one element. So Al for aluminum, Cl for chlorine. This compound would have a pairing of these ions in a 1-to-3 ratio. For every 1 aluminum ion, there would be 3 chloride ions, and we would call this aluminum chloride. This compound right here is a pairing of lead, Pb, with iodine, I, in a 1-to-4 ratio. Again, this is an ionic compound, which would have a ratio of 1-to-4 for lead ions to iodide ions. We would call this one lead-4 iodide. The second to last formula here is COCl2. When I look up CO on my periodic table, I find that this is the element cobalt, and that's going to be paired with chloride ions, again coming from chlorine atoms, which have become negatively charged. Here we would have a 1-to-2 ratio. So for every 1 cobalt ion, there would be 2 chloride ions paired with it. Finally, my last compound, P2O5. This is a molecule because it's a nonmetallic element with a nonmetallic element. The ratio here is in one molecule, I have 2 atoms of phosphorus and I have 5 atoms of oxygen. So again, I have in one molecule of P2O5, I have 7 total atoms. 2 are phosphorus, 5 are oxygen. The name for this compound would be diphosphorus pentoxide. However, nomenclature is a topic for a later unit, so don't get really concerned at this point about how to name compounds. At this point, the main emphasis should be how do we interpret chemical formulas, how do we know how many atoms or ions of each element are present in these different substances.